Hello, everyone, and welcome. I want to thank you for taking the time to be here today. If you've been here before, I am so grateful that you came back to join me. And if it's your first time here, I am so happy to have you. My name is Lindsay, and I am a mom of 5. My husband and I work outside the home, and so our life is often very busy. Here I offer glimpses into my life, and I hope to learn more about yours as we grow together. So on this day, I was really trying to take the time to focus on mine and my husband's bedroom. I don't know about y'all, but for me, I feel like it's one of the most neglected rooms in my home. I find throughout the day that I don't really spend a lot of time in there. There are other rooms like the kitchen or the living room or the family room where we spend more time together. These community rooms are where my kids' toys are. It's where we have family movie night, where we share meals together, where we have game night. And since these rooms are used more, they become messier and they require more of my attention. For me, a bedroom is primarily a place of rest. It's the place where I sleep at night, where I recharge for the next day. It should feel peaceful and tranquil. And looking around the room on that day, it was not giving those vibes. It had just become very cluttered. There was, clothes that needed to be washed. There were random cups of water. There was trash. There were kids' toys. That's a nutcracker from Christmas. I mean, you get the picture. It just needed to be cleaned so that it could become that sanctuary again. Now, I had recorded this content and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to say on my voiceover. But as I watched what I recorded and I thought about it, I felt called to say this. In a lot of ways, I sometimes feel like this room. I sometimes feel like I am so outwardly focused. I'm sure many of you can identify with this, that feeling that you're pulled in so many different directions. So we neglect ourselves. We don't take that time for rest and for self-care. We don't take that time to cultivate that sense of self, to fuel our creativity, to ignite our passions so that we can feel inspired to do what we do best. There can be many barriers for us as women in taking that time for ourselves. Sometimes we feel as if we're just too busy, so it's a scheduling issue. Sometimes it can be a boundary issue. We don't know how to say no to some things so that we can take that time for ourselves. For others, it may be a support issue. They don't have the support to be able to take that time. Of all the strengths that we possess as women, resourcefulness is one of our best. So if you find yourself thinking that it's impossible, I want you to know that there is always hope and there is always possibility. We may have to be creative, we may have to be flexible, but we can make it happen. For the past few years, I've been making a vision board. It allows me to realize the things that I want to accomplish so that I can translate them into goals and actionize them throughout the year. For me, the vision board not only serves as a tool for organizing and planning, but it also helps to keep me accountable. I usually keep a copy on my phone, and sometimes I'll also print it out and keep it somewhere like in my calendar so that I can refer back to it throughout the year to help me stay on track or help me refocus so that I can make those dreams realities. My vision boards may contain goals from previous years that have not yet been accomplished. In those scenarios, it's a good way for me to evaluate those goals and what barriers stood in my way of accomplishing them, so that I can create new strategies to make them happen in the coming year. Or if previous goals that I had no longer serve me, are no longer possibility, I can pivot and create new goals that align with where I currently am in my journey. It also feels good to see the goals that I've accomplished. I celebrate those milestones that I've achieved, and it gives me motivation for the new goals and things that lie ahead. In the past, I think I've always kind of lived in a place of chaos. Like I've been kind of flailing, aimless, directionless. But I've come to realize over the years that that's not thriving, that's just surviving. And I want more. One of my goals for 2024 is to become more organized. And I've realized that a lot of this starts with planning. Creating rituals and systems that I put into place, that I do maybe daily or weekly, that set that foundation. But also knowing that I need to have grace for myself as I put these new things into place. While it's good to be adaptable and flexible, it's also good to have some kind of foundation, somewhere where you're grounded. Along with the vision board, I also choose a word that will serve as kind of my theme or my mantra throughout the year. 2023 was a year that was filled with a lot of change, a lot of ups and downs for our family. And for me personally, I felt a lot of indirection. Sorry, I don't know if that's really a word or not. I felt very much lost. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing or where I was going or what I wanted in my life. Like many people are feeling now, it was also a really difficult financial time for us. And so for 2024, I chose the word stability. I felt this intrinsic pull to really find balance and really find a place where I felt more firmly planted and grounded in all aspects of my life. I guess the chaos of previous years had subconsciously left me feeling very out of whack, and without me really knowing it, it had kept me from being able to accomplish some of the things that I wanted to accomplish. And I think some of that is like being in survival mode, constantly feeling like you just have to keep going and not really taking the time to reflect and focus on how the little things that are occurring really add up and can kind of bury you without you realizing it. And so this year, I'm looking for stability in my home, in my finances, in my mental health, in my relationships, in all aspects. And I think for the first time in a long time, I'm really committed to taking that time to turn inward and identifying those things that are preventing me from having that stability. Investing my time into doing that hard work of identifying those triggers, realizing those thought processes, identifying those fears that hold me back from reaching my full potential. I'm curious to know if y'all have a process for the new year. Do you create a vision board or set goals for the coming year? Let me know in the comments. I am so grateful for this time that we have spent together today, and I hope that you will come and join me again. Goodbye for now.